Hi everyone, it's Victor speaking, and today I will continue my tutorials on vocation and professional course. So last week I made a video about planets in the second house and how we can attract money. So today I wanted to have a look at what happens if, for instance, Uranus transit in your vocational houses. But before we actually go into what the Uranus transits might mean to certain houses, we would need to be looking at how to delineate the vocational houses. So the vocational houses are going to be the second house, the sixth, and the 10th. The second house, because that's something to do with the source of money, the potentials, how you can make money. And by the way, I will be putting that link on the screen and in the description box as well. So you can be looking at what each planet means in the second house and what ways you can make money with them. So I recommend checking them out before you go further with this video. The sixth house is so much to do with service to others. The sixth house is about your everyday life, your day job, and how you get along with co-workers, where the 10th house is more about your public life, your ambition, but it can also indicate your networking abilities. So the sixth house is more about what type of jobs you easily fall into, and the 10th house is more about your solid career. So I'll give you an example. For instance, let's imagine that you've got Taurus on the sixth house cusp, and you have got Virgo on the 10th. And Taurus is all about finances, something to do with creativity. And Virgo is very much known for service to others and health and medicine, even writing abilities or possibly teaching as well. So someone with this combination somehow need to bring the two together. So maybe because Taurus is all about financials, Virgo is a very good advisor. Eventually, someone can become a financial advisor or even a professor. Someone who is going to be obviously teaching you skills, which is very much about Virgo, Mercury, traits, through a financial department, which is very much about Taurus. Or you might become a chef who is going to be teaching others how to cook and so forth. So the sixth house is all about health, service, your daily habits, your work environment, something to do with your teammates you work with, how much of a team player you are. But it also, sorry, it also talks about pets and how efficient, how productive you are. While the 10th house is your ambition, the motivation, something to do with the outer environment, how others are influencing your career, how much of a go-getter you are, how much you are going after reputation or public life, social status. So it's more about your profession. What I usually say about the midheaven position, especially if it is placed in your 10th house, that's the easy way to success, the easy way to get recognized by your career. And so therefore, any trine, sextile, or even the planet which has got the closest aspect to your midheaven could be actually a success story, even a square. But you definitely need to be paying attention to conjunctions at least within 10 degrees from the midheaven. So looking at the transits. So today I want to be talking about Uranus because that could be a little bit of a game changer. Not everyone is going to be feeling the Uranus transits to the same extent. And I'll give you a couple of examples why. So for instance, if you have got one of your career houses, which is empty, it's less likely that you will feel it very strongly. or there is going to be so much drama going on in that house. But if you have got planets in there natally, most likely Uranus will bring significant changes in your career. So also, I would say that you're going to have to check out your natal chart as well, because the more Uranian type you are, the more changes Uranus transit can bring for you. So here, I would like to grab the opportunity to describe who the Uranian people are. So if you have got a prominent Uranus in your chart, such as having it around the ascendant or the midheaven, you can be a very Uranian person. Or if Uranus is one of the most aspected planets in your chart, you can also be Uranian, because Uranus is having the most dialogue with other planets in your chart, especially when Uranus is having dialogues with personal planets, meaning Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars, and Venus. Also, if you have got several planets, for instance, in the sign of Aquarius, then it can make you a Uranian person. Also, several planets in the 11th house, but I believe this is going to be the least important out of the four I've listed above. So in order for us to understand Uranus transits, we need to know what Uranus is about. So Uranus is all about putting you on a new track in your life. It shakes things up. It is all about the need to reinvent yourself. It is telling you that the way you have been working, it's not working anymore. So you have to make certain changes. Like every single planet, Uranus also has got good traits and bad traits as well. So when we talk about Uranus at its best, it is inventive, it is full of ideas, it is thinking outside the box. It is able to connect with other people. And of course, eventually Uranus makes friendship and those people become their benefactors. So those people can help them to achieve the best version of that, of yourself. Uranus wants to create independency, or at least thriving for it. Talking about Uranus at its worst, well, it can be very rebellious and stubborn, so it doesn't want to change. It might reject possibilities and opportunities because they want to get stuck somehow in certain area of life. And it might be because they have experienced so much change in their childhood that now they want to be able to settle down a little bit. But they could have an explosive temper as well, or just doesn't want to be rejected, doesn't want to grow up, or they might not be committed to a project. Uranus is so much to do with your family karma. And I'm not going to go into that because it would be a long video. And I know you guys don't like listening for hours. So, but Uranus is very much about a karma, very much a karmic planet. So indicates which side of your family you bring most of your karma in. And if you have got a prominent Uranus, it's most probably going to be your male side of your family. So to get a full idea of what Uranus transits bring for you, think back what happened when he was in one of your career houses. How did you act at that time? Because most probably it's going to be very similar now as well. So Uranus has got this special role in your chart. It wants you to become an inventor, like a tech support person. It wants you to be setting trends. It wants you to reform things, to become an activist. So it's a little bit like an avant-garde, futuristic type of thing. Try to think about opportunities which others haven't yet, or just tweak on a possibility and make it your own. It's a quirky energy, but very humanitarian at the same time. So the key with Uranus is always thinking outside of the box and not necessarily wanting to get stuck in certain jobs or in certain area of life. But more like the negative characters of Uranus is that it's willful, it's provocative, very eccentric, cold, and it could act very erratic, but it's a very brilliant energy as well. And it tries to thrive for freedom. So Uranus transit is always harder for people who have got plenty of fixed signs in their chart, as fixed people want to hold on to things. And probably it's a little bit easier for those who have got plenty of mutable energies in their chart, because mutable tends to go with the flow. So the negative side of Uranus transit in your career houses, that you are going to be having sudden changes at work. It might require you to try different type of fields before you find the one which you enjoy. It could be bringing you unsettling situations. And most probably, it wants to awaken you that you might not be on the right path. And then if you are very, very reluctant, then eventually it's going to bring you back again to revise the situation. Now, I would also like to mention that Uranus is the planet of self-employment, especially when it's transiting business signs. And the business signs are very much the earth signs. So Uranus might want you to start your own business. I would also like to put it out there that it's very hard to predict with Uranus because it's the planet of unpredictability. So you can't take anything granted with it. Yes, but Uranus can also give you the opportunity to stretch yourself, to try a field you have been dreaming about for a long time, but maybe you haven't had the courage to make the initial steps. So especially when you have got Uranus around your midheaven and natally, then it could indicate that you can be working with computers, or you can be very innovative, or you can be doing programming or self-employment. So something to do with technology, IT. Science is also ruled by Uranus, but you can also become a freelance business owner. You can become an activist and working for group missions, or you can somehow become a member of a tribe, a member of a group. You can even become an engineer or an astrologer. An astrologer, especially if it's in more spiritual signs, such as maybe Scorpio or Pisces or even Sagittarius, then it's actually something you can take into account. Now, Uranus transits last for approximately about 7 years. So when you have got Uranus transit in your second house, well, having the great disruptor here in the second house, which is the house of money, material possessions, as I said, work, and something to do with your routines as well because of the Taurian energy. It's likely you have a unique and unusual perspective when it comes to the way you want to be building your financials and your life around you. So it could be that you completely reject anything that wants to tie you down, or you might be coming up or you constantly seeking out groundbreaking and advanced things which is going to be changing your life. And it might be relating to technology. So the key success factor with Uranus transit in your second house is to be the first in the queue. Also, having Uranus here, your financials might become somehow unique. So maybe actually the money comes in chunks, or money is coming and going. And it could be very surprising, it could be quite shocking as well. When you have got, for instance, Uranus moving through your sixth house, well, here Uranus is going to be talking to us about maybe your health and fitness routines are going to be changing. Something definitely around your work. Maybe actually you decide that you want to be breaking away from your work colleagues. Maybe you are going to be picking up some habits which is very unconventional, and people in your environment are going to get shocked about it. Your work environment can become very chaotic as well. Basically, the routines, we can say that they might not exist when Uranus is in your sixth house. So I would be describing Uranus in the sixth house as like a little bit of a mad scientist archetype. Of course, it doesn't mean that you are going to be mad, so don't get me wrong. But this could be very much indicating that you are actually going to get very focused on changing your lifestyle. Um, but remember that this is the house of health as well. So you're going to have to watch out for any type of spikes in your work area, because you can be exhausted or you can create tensions with people around you, or they might be creating those tensions for you. So Uranus here could be bringing unexpected crashes in your energy level. And when you have got Uranus going through your 10th house, well, it is talking about your long-term goals. So it might be coming as an awakener that you have been wasting your time and you need to be changing job. And let's gather our ideas of what I can do, right? You can become very rebellious. So this might not be the period of time when you should argue or fight with authority figures or governmental people and so forth. This is probably not the time when you should be cutting corners either, if you have got, for instance, a family business. But you can become a very rebellious about conventional ways of working, and that's why you might have got the idea that yes, I'm going to be coming up with my own business idea. You can even become an artist with having Uranus in the 10th house. Um, yes, and you might start being interested in astrology as well. Probably when Uranus is going through your 10th house, the 9 to 5 jobs are going to kind of make you cry. But you might become very kind of anxious and motivated to climb up the career ladder as well. But in a sense, it can become a nightmare of yours as well, that people want to push you to pursue, your dreams or to climb the career ladder. So you can get to the level as well where you're going to be saying that, hold on a minute, I don't know if I care about my job anymore. I feel like I need to break away. I feel like I need to chop off the chains which are holding me back. So, and of course, it's very much worth having a look at when Uranus is transiting your vocational planets. You can have very similar feelings. And also, from time to time, it's worth having a look at when Uranus is transiting your Pallas Athene, which is very much related to some of our work choices as well. Also, you might want to be looking at when Uranus is transiting your part of spirit. Now, I am going to be making a webinar on part of fortune and part of spirit on the 31st of January. So if you are interested, then sign up for this 4 or 5 hour webinar, and then you can gain more insight about what is your mission in this incarnation, what type of job you should be doing. Well, thank you very much for your attention. I hope you have enjoyed this short video. I try to put as much information as I can into one video, but you know, there is so much to talk about. So I will carry on making a little bit more content in regards to this series of how to make money, what type of profession you can be choosing, because I think this is exactly what the Uranus Saturn transit and this kind of Aquarian age flavor are prompting us with the Saturn Jupiter conjunction, which took place not long ago. So thank you very much for your attention, and I will see you shortly. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.